attorney here, going live as I do every weekday to discuss trademark issues. Yesterday, somebody asked me that if I do a search through the USPTO.gov website and I find a trademark that's expired, is it fair game to use? Now, that's an interesting question and one that comes up a lot. And the answer is, as so many things in law, maybe. So, expired trademarks can, in some circumstances, be revived. And in addition to that, just because a trademark has expired, it means the registration has expired. It may still very well be in use, however, and you're going to have to do more than just a search of USPTO.gov database in order to find that out. Now, marks may expire for a number of reasons, and one of the most common reasons for a trademark to expire is because the trademark owner doesn't file their maintenance documents. So there are certain documents that need to be filed between years 5 and 6, and then after year 10 to be able to, and then every 10 years thereafter, to be able to maintain the trademark. And in some cases, either the attorney doesn't docket it or the trademark owner files it himself and doesn't make sure that they put it in their calendar, the registration that needs to be maintained on these certain dates, or they may have not updated their address with the Patent and Trademark Office, so the notice is mailed to them, but then it doesn't arrive because they don't have a forwarding address, or they didn't change their address, or they forwarded it, but the forwarding has expired. There's just a whole bunch of reasons why the notice that the maintenance documents need to be filed doesn't show up. So what people need to do is they need to make sure that they filed what's called a declaration of use, but sometimes that doesn't get filed. They may still be using the mark in commerce in exactly the same way they used it prior to the expiration of the registration. It's just that the registration has expired. So what happens then? If they miss the deadline to file the maintenance documents, there's a grace period after that, during which time they can file the maintenance documents and maintain the trademark. You just have to pay a fee. And so if you see a mark that's expired, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's expired. They may still be within the grace period. We don't know. If they're still using the mark but have missed the deadline, they still have all the common law rights that they used to have. They just don't have a registration. So what does that mean? It means that it's possible for someone else to come in, even after the grace period has expired. It's possible that someone else may come in, apply to register that mark or a mark that would otherwise infringe, be granted a registration because their registration is no longer live in the USPTO database. So, of course, the trademark examiner doesn't know that they're still using it because the only place that they look is the USPTO database. So they could grant a registration to somebody else, and then that registration could be canceled when the superior rights holder, that's the person that's been using it all along, even though their registration has lapsed, when the superior rights holder realizes, oh, hey, wait, someone else got a registration for this mark that we've been using for 20 years just because we forgot to file the maintenance documents, they may apply to cancel that registration because they have been using it longer and they actually have prior rights nationwide. So when people don't file their maintenance documents, it kind of messes up everything, especially for the former registrant who now may have to litigate over who has the better trademark rights with somebody who subsequently came in and filed and got a registration for that mark, even though the mark was still being used. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to adopt a mark that is expired, make double dog sure that you have investigated whether or not that mark is still in use. And if you are a registrant, be sure to make a note of when those maintenance documents are due. I'm Angela Langlotz, and I go live every weekday to talk about trademarks, copyrights, other intellectual property issues, and you can find me online at TrademarkDoctor.net. If you go to my Facebook page at facebook.com/TrademarkDoctor and like my page, you'll be notified every time I go live. If you like this video, please share it with others. I give you permission and would be delighted for you to do so. I'll see you tomorrow.